friends, MD Vegan. I want to make a new juice today. It is my juice fasting day. I'm looking forward to that. It could be any day of the week, but one day it has to be. I mean, if my schedule allows it, like a birthday party or so, I won't skip. I would skip my fasting day because the social activities can be very important too. And my fasting every single week, well, I can't wait. Most important is that I do it every week, so to say every week, and then over years and years. That's the thing. Skipping one day or so once in a while doesn't really matter. I can also take another day if that day is blocked for one time. But it is good to have a regular rhythm in life, of course. I perfectly would be to choose the moon rhythms, of course. But as I said, any day is the best day that fits into one's schedule best. Because it's gentle juice fasting. That is with compassion, compassion about to the others and to yourself. To myself, I don't want to hurt myself, push myself, stop the energy flow inside. I always want to feel delighted. And that's good because you feel the energy flow inside, you feel good. And the inner healing begins. Energy flows free. That is according to ancient medicine everywhere. They say this flow of energy. I have different words for that. That makes your body heal from inside. And that's very practical. They have a lot of success, and even Western countries and insurance companies accept that now, that these treatments, not often scientifically proven, but people want it and it works. They have many cases it works, also scientifically proven, but they don't know how. Oftentimes they can't explain why that works. But that's a different topic to explain why. It's a different topic than the fact that it works. If they have statistics of so many cases, so many success, then yeah, that works. That's a definition of works, right? And the energy flow is free, is an ancient thing all over the world. They know that, and that makes you feel great. That makes you heal, and that's what I want. And so this method of fasting, the gentle juice fasting, is based on that. That we always want to have that state of balance. Because you can also call it balance. Everything is balanced, inside out, outside in. Then the flow is there. In life or inside, doesn't matter. It's all in the flow. That's a non-violent approach to lifestyle. I only learned that from true yoga. I was a yogi, dedicated yogi. I practiced every day. I wanted to get better. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to overcome my health issues from earlier on. And vegan diet, of course. And it was a great success for me to find yoga. It changed everything. But when I found tree yoga, the flow, art and science of the yoga flow, when that came into my life, that was really the game changer, a massive game changer, because then the non-violence came into yoga, into my life. Non-violence in daily life, compassionate lifestyle. That's the biggest improvement. Veganism is one way to do that, but the flow, entering the flow, letting go into the flow, that is the highest level, I would say. As far as I can tell now. Yeah. Full awareness every moment, yeah, and so on. So, tree yoga, gentle juice fasting, the flow, and I make a new juice on these days. Because, there's one thing with the fasting that is a cleansing. That's a physical plane, on the mental plane also, the cleansing that you get, so to say, the things that are not needed anymore in the body or in the mind, thoughts or ideas or fears or something you don't like, memories you don't like anymore, they still push you and sleep there, and you can let go in a fasting day. But of course, over years and years, that sometimes takes a lifetime. This cleansing is going on all the time. And fasting makes that possible. Now, that is a tool to do that. There are two stages to me, as I experienced it for myself. Yeah? At first, it is the physical plane and the gross objects. So when I have to remove an obstacle, inside or outside in my life, that's the first. I would say the gross aspect of that journey. Yeah, there are different journeys at the same time in my life, but it oftentimes begins with the gross part. That I remove an obstacle, a disease, something that is toxic inside, or so I get rid of. But then, when that is happening, so the fasting is a little bit more progressive. Later, if you fast more weeks and months, and so every day, only 1 day a week is necessary for that. And then it begins to become, the energy begin to flow freely on a regular basis. They always have more freedom in the flow of the energy. And then I can begin to be creative. So that's the idea. First, I cleanse myself, and then I be creative. And I feel that. That is my experience. I don't have that from books, but that's what I feel, I experience for myself. Don't know what others say, but to me, the creation of new recipes on the fasting days is the best expression of that. I can feel, for example, when I make a new juice here, like today I make a pineapple cilantro juice. The main ingredients are cilantro and pineapple and beet, a red beet. There's so many things to tell about that juice. I will do that later. And just quickly introduce you to my ingredients here, and then I make the juice and I taste it in front of you. But the idea of making a new juice, a new recipe on a fasting day, expresses, of course, creativity. And it's so nice because I know that when I have a fasting day, I feel more intense. My sensitivity is higher. I can feel what a carrot feels like. When I eat it or drink it, the carrot goes through my body, all the essence, the nutrients, and that does something to me. And I can feel that very clearly on a fasting day more than other days. And a simple explanation to me is that on a fasting day, I do not digest things. And the digestion takes a big part of the energy in the food just for digestion. And the rest only, the smaller part, goes for my body to grow and so on. And on a fasting day, there is no digestion. The fiber is taken out of the food, it's filtered out. Only the nutrients go directly into the bloodstream. That's why I have to drink the juice slowly, because there is no fiber, no moderation. It goes directly in, rush. So drink it slowly, then the nutrients go in slowly too. But they go in directly. No digestion, the full energy goes there. And as that energy that is used for digestion usually is not needed on this day, all of a sudden the senses are more open to feel what's there outside, or what I put into my body from outside. So on a fasting day I feel more, and that's why, of course, I can be more creative. I say, oh, the carrot, yes, that would be nice together with the pineapple, for example, and with the apple and with the red beet. And so, because here I feel this, and so this is a whole world of new experiences, new feelings, emotions on a fasting day that makes me, that puts me in the position to be creative, more creative. It's a very nice day. And meanwhile, I've been fasting for years now, once a week. This is the Gentle Juicefasting method. That's for me most effective, because I can do it every week without any problem. If it's too much, I eat a little bit. It doesn't really matter. I'm not so rigid anymore. I have the balance, and I do it long time. And the long time effect, that makes it so effective. So on one fasting day, if you do it once only in your life, you just have one fasting day, the effect may be there. It might be a little bit of a struggle or so, you might like it or not, but it's not so effective, because the next day you reverse everything and nothing remains. It has to be steady every week, bam, 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 rhythm, and then it begins to build cumulative. That's the nice thing. That's really when it becomes interesting for me. And so I've been doing it for a while, and now I feel this wonderful joy. When fasting day comes, I feel it. I don't want to eat. I want to have these juices, or maybe even not. I don't even need the juices sometimes. Usually I drink a lot on the fasting day, but sometimes not so much. That depends. The most important thing is then that this going inside, this more feeling, this being creative, and this heightened awareness. It's a fasting time that's very exciting. It's known over all cultures almost on the planet. For eons of times have reported fasting is a firm part of most cultures. It's very interesting. That's so important everywhere. And to me, it's a nice modern form of fasting. Once a week, all the time, That's the best way for me. So now I make this juice, and I found that cilantro, here has a whole bunch of cilantro. It's a green herb. It is super healthy. Green herbs are among the healthiest foods you can have. Of course, vegetable, broccoli or kale or whatever you have, they of course are actually more important because you eat more of them. You don't eat that many herbs. Herbs are a small amount. They are super healthy. The herbs and spices come directly after the green vegetables. Dark leafy green vegetables. Directly after that come the herbs and spices. But just, you know, you don't eat that much. They have a very strong flavor, aroma, very intense. So you don't have only use it for seasoning. But they are very healthy, even if you only eat little of it. And the cilantro is like the parsley, the Chinese parsley, what I call it, is like cleansing from heavy metals. And that is super. All greens do that, but parsley and cilantro especially. And they have a very strong flavor, very characteristic. And now for me interesting is not so much the health aspect. Of course, that is always in my mind, a little bit in the background. But what I do when I'm creative, I use something green, yeah, for example, and put it like a cilantro now, together with an ingredient that makes this cilantro flavor very special and delicious. And that is a pineapple. Pineapple is perfect with cilantro. Pineapple is something like a solitary for me in my kitchen. So it has a very special flavor too, very strong, and I cannot use it with all the other ingredients. So it has a very special qualities. Like for example, it has an enzyme, very strong enzyme that helps digestion. It's not needed today, of course, but there's always also digestion. Although, so if you have, for example, you need the nutrients on a fasting day, yeah, but you don't take it from the food. The body begins to digest and itself, you know, that was not needed. The fat, for example, and other things that are in the system that are not needed, they are then digested. Yeah, the body does ketosis. That's called ketosis. It's a special process that begins. It's different from what we do every day. It's a different kind of digestion, so to say, of absorption of nutrients from inside. And of course, on that, there also these enzyme might play a big role. I don't know so much about that. So this is the medical and the scientific aspects that is interesting to know. But to me as a chef, of course, I want to have a delicious juice here. Something that tastes exciting, that makes me feel great. And the science is only the background, not the main thing here. I know a whole food plant-based diet is healthy. I know juices are not for a whole food plant-based diet. They cannot replace my regular meal on a regular day. No, but on a fasting day, with no digestion, I take the juices and make these wonderful flavor experiences. Yeah, colors, flavors, fragrances. All this is part of a recipe. That's on a fasting day only. And of course, in a certain way, juices are not healthy because they are not whole food in that way. Yeah, the fiber is away. The fiber is very important in the food. But they have another aspect here. It's about these. You get a flow of nutrients, very rich nutrients in the system, and you reverse your digestion. The metabolism is reversed on a fasting day. It's a different situation. It's exceptional. So it's different from regular eating days. So and there also the pineapple enzymes might play a role in a different way. But to me, as I say, the cilantro and the pineapple is such an interesting combination. And today I will also add a lime instead of a lemon. I made earlier recipes with this combination and other ingredients together with lemon. But today I have fortunate to have a lime here. I have a large or two small limes, pretty much here. And this is the color, the dark green color of the lime. There you see a little bit the greenish color of the flesh of the lime. Here is the sourness. Here is the flavor mostly. I try to use a little bit of the peel. Not too much. It can be too intense because most of the power is in the peel. It can be very intense, like the spices. You know, very intense. You don't need that much. Same with the peel. It can be a very interesting flavor. Add to it a little bit, a twist or so, a zing, but not too much. It can be bitter and ruin the whole flavor. But lime, especially with cilantro and pineapple, is so huge a flavor combination. I use that usually also the other day on in a dressing and in a soup already. A lime cilantro combination. It's really amazing. You're gonna try that if you didn't before. You should really try lime and cilantro, and with pineapple is a very good way. And I combine that all with carrot and apple. Carrot and apple is a juice by itself. It can use together. It's very nice together also with lemon or ginger. A lot of carrots here, a lot of apples, pretty much the same amount. Yeah, 3 cups or so, or 4 if you cut it. And that is, so to say, the background of the juice. I could make just a pineapple juice with lime and cilantro, nice by itself perhaps, but the sweetness and the earth flavor comes from the apple and the carrot here, and it gives the juice more volume and adds a certain tone, a background tone, apples and carrots, and ginger here too. Yeah, I have a good piece of ginger here. It is very nice together with pineapple, together with cilantro, together with apple, together with carrot. Ginger goes with every of these ingredients, each of the ingredients. Very nice, ginger. It adds power and fire. Fire of the ginger adds it. And now the other basic ingredient here is a beet juice. Is a beet. I have a large beet here, a medium large beet. You see, clean it a little bit and cut it into pieces for the juicer. Has to fit in the juicer, so I have to prepare a little bit my ingredients. I cut them, I wash them, I make them fit into the juicer, so that it is not always easy now then to do it. That is a good preparation for the juice. I get my ingredients clear, I put them on a table, on a counter, and I begin to prepare and to clear them, and then I count them and I see what have I, what do I need, and how do they fit together. So my creativity begins when I put my ingredients together. That's when it begins. I decide what to do. And I don't know this ingredient, this combination. I didn't do it before. I had this pretty much the same juice without the apple. I have made it with oranges. That is nice. But I know that the apple is especially goes very nice with cilantro. To add once I made a cilantro apple juice. So very nice combination. You're gonna try that. Cilantro is very strong by itself. You can't do too much. Apple is also very strong, balanced. It balances the strong cilantro flavor and gives it a very nice touch. It makes it very delightful. With lemon and ginger you can do, or without you can try. Cilantro apple is nice. So I tried this time, I want to try this time apple instead of orange in this whole juice. And as apple goes so nice with carrot, it's a classic, I thought maybe it goes also with this juice, because in the first recipe I used the orange instead of the apple because of the carrot and the red beet. Because orange is perfect with both, with beet and with carrot. Yeah, orange is perfect with that. If you like an apple with the beet, you can run into a problem. It can be nice, but usually you would put some more, maybe some ginger and lemon to it to make it taste better. But the beet and the orange is perfect. Yeah, there's no doubt. It's a classic. But the beet and the apple can be nice, but the orange is clear. So the first attempt was orange with beet and carrot in this juice. And now what I do today is replace the orange with an apple. And in addition to that, I take the lime, as I said before. This is a large or 2 small limes, as you wish, because that is so nice with cilantro and also with pineapple. So cilantro has lime has a little bit stronger flavor. A little bit like cilantro, a little bit like very strong edge to it, as opposed to lemon, just not so strong. So let's begin. I will juice now. I talked a lot to explain a little bit the ingredients, how I compose them, and how I do my fasting and so on, just to give you a little bit of insight in fasting if you like. But the main thing today is, of course, for you, the juice and the flavors. Let's see. I will juice it now and come back in a moment when it's ready. 1.5 liter juice is what I got. So I have a lot of ingredients here. As you can see, that what is filtered out of the juice, that is also a lot. You see, it's a full plate, a heaping plate of fiber. It's called Trester pulp that comes out of the juicer. That's what we don't eat. And that is what usually causes digestion to work. This is the healthy stuff that our bacteria in the gut, they love so much, so to say. Who knows what they feel? They're only one cell each. I don't know if they have feelings. We don't consider them animals. They are bacteria on their own, but they live in the intestines, and they have more biomass than we have brain mass. So it's a huge amount of bacteria living there, and they are responsible for our health. So we are responsible to feed them right, and that is what they like to eat, the fiber. Yeah? It's not for us, it's for the bacteria, honestly, and it's very healthy. And but we also get some nutrients from these. Later studies show that we get some nutrients, some very important nutrients from the fiber. It's part of the whole food plant-based diet. We have the information that fiber is also helps us to get very important nutrients, almost as important as vitamins. So vitamin, we can't live without that. So fiber is very important. But you don't need to throw it away. You can also, I put it in the garden, for example. I have a small piece of earth there. I can just dig it in. I will put that in a plastic bag, perhaps another bag, and keep it. Well, every week it comes a little bit more from the fasting. Put it in there usually, and then I make a knot on top. And after a month or two, it can take some time. The bag would be wet. Begins to be humid, so it seeps through. I take the whole bag. It's easier than going out every single time, so I collect it to make it easier. I take it out and put the contents of the bag into the garden, into the earth. Just dig a hole and put it in, that's all. And it's a wonderful fertilizer. Plants grow like that, very nice. It's very nice, they love it, it seems. I've been doing it for years. So you don't need to throw it away. But if you have to, well, it's a fasting day, it's an exception, so sometimes I also do that if my garden is full or so. Happens also. I can use the garden sometimes. It's not my own, not my own garden here. So, but the juice is more important now than the fiber story. Also, you can use that fiber several times, because in the fiber, oftentimes here, the pulp, to be correct, it's not only fiber, it's pulp, there is also some juice left sometimes. So depending on the juicer you have, if you juice it several times, get more juice out of the fruit and the vegetables, and also a different flavor. It's very different if you juice it until it's really more dry. I do that sometimes to save also the juice, to get more juice, and it makes it different in the flavor. But how it tastes, that's the main thing. That will I find out now. So I have a little spoon here. I mixed it because I have two containers here. So when you juice it, in the first container there is maybe a different number of ingredients than the other one, because you can only juice one fruit at a time. So with the time you have maybe an imbalance. The second batch has maybe more apples, the first batch has maybe more red beets, so you have to mix it again. And then after mixing, I can now taste it, as everywhere is the same juice. Let's see. So you see the color is beautiful, it's a beet color, and of course, wherever you put beet in, and a juice and also other dishes, the whole food gets red. That's interesting, because the color is so strong. And that's also a very healthy color. Colors are very important nutrients. Same with the fiber. Fiber has been earlier understood as that what we cannot digest from the plants. That's not completely true. As I said, also some nutrients we get from the fiber. But the other thing, the colors, is now more and more also seen as a very important nutrient. It can be as vital as vitamins. Has never been seen before. So the color is important to see, and you put red beet in something, everything is red. So it's also a sign that it's very important. It's very dominant. It has to be, in fact, you would assume, and it has. Red beet actually enhances the endurance. If you have it beet juice or also red beet 2 hours before performance, for the practice, the exercise, you have more performance. It's proven scientifically. Beet is very powerful. To me, a very nice thing. And it is basically a beet juice because everything you put beet in, it turns into beet juice. So first thing, beet juice. And I say something about the beet juice after tasting it, because the real fantastic news about beet comes on. Let's see. But first, the flavor. Yeah. Now this is the exciting thing about beet. So I have a project running, always with beets. Yeah, it's one kind of my experiment, if you want. My journey here is about beet. Beet is one of the most important ingredients in my kitchen as when it comes to creating new flavors. I really have not seen any other fruit or vegetable that can create so many different flavors. It's just endless, it seems. And there are flavors that you wouldn't even consider to be beet flavors. I have lots to tell about the beet, but because you know the beet is an earth flavor and it's high of sugar. Beet as a plant has a lot of sugar. It's a high sugar content, very high. And but if you eat the beet as is, you taste something more like earth. Yeah, it tastes a little bit not just sweet. Yeah, it can have a different flavor. The earth flavor is very strong. But if you put a sweet and sour fruit to it in a juice, like here, pineapple, apple and so on, all of a sudden, the beet flavor turns into something completely new. And that's what I wanted to find out with the pineapple and with the cilantro and so. It's a pretty complex juice. Cilantro and pineapple and apple and carrot, also beet flavor, and lime and ginger. So all this comes together here in a new flavor, and it tastes amazing. It's a very complex, strong flavor. Not strong that it knocks me off, but it is very characteristic. It has very many, it's a very dense flavor. There's a lot of things in there. I don't know. I can't discriminate. When all the ingredients are balanced, not too much of this or to that, not too much ginger, not too much lemon, to begin with the easiest parts, then you have a balanced flavor. All the flavors in there are in balance, and you have a new flavor where you do not taste the single components. You don't taste it anymore when they're in balance. And this here is a very interesting one, and I was excited. It's different from the one with orange. I said before I made the same juice with orange instead of apples, and it's really significantly different. It's not so brilliant, the flavor. The flavor is more warm, if you understand what I mean. Maybe not, but it describes it pretty well, I would say. The orange here made it more bright, like an orange, bright, light sun. The apple makes it more warm and round, not so bright, not so, more like, okay, wow, nice, warming, powerful too. Very nice. It's a different flavor, and I use these informations. I don't write it down. I just take it inside. I take it in. I taste it. I feel it. I drink the juice now as a whole meal here. It's a complete meal. Of course, it will take some time because I have to drink it slowly. Otherwise, there will be a sugar spike in my blood, and it's not so good oftentimes. You get nervous or shaky, or maybe you feel bad, nauseous, or something. Drinking it slowly is important, also for the health and for the well-being. So I will drink it slowly as a whole meal, and then I will fully experience it. I only experience, I wouldn't say everybody, but I experience only fully after I have enjoyed it fully. Yeah, when everything is done, I still feel well. It's still good. Then my body reacts and tells me what happens. And there are things that happens only later. And so to understand fully a flavor or a recipe, it needs to sit some time, and you need to make it several times, because the next time it can be completely different. You don't know. It may depend on your personal situation, on the circumstances, or whatever. So to make a really good recipe takes some time, some attempts, and so on. But so far, I'm very excited. It's a very nice flavor. I can compare to the other flavors I made before, and I will use that knowledge in other recipes too. When I make a new recipe, I think about my feeling. What now? Can I add cilantro, lime, or whatever? All these informations here, this knowledge, flows into the other recipes I'm making, and that's why juice fasting, juicing is always so exciting for me, because I get so much insight into the ingredients, and that's basically what cooking is, combining ingredients. It begins to you get your ingredients from the grocery or from the garden, whatever you have, and you have the ingredients, and that is the beginning of cooking, when you get your ingredients. Good ingredients makes it easy to cook well and delicious and healthy dishes. Yeah. So we have the ingredients and then you combine them, you play with them, and that's what cooking is to me. Yeah. And I learned so much with fasting. I hope you can enjoy. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something too, maybe. Maybe you want to try that recipe or feel inspired to make another beet juice or another pineapple juice, what you like. There's so many ways. Maybe you feel inspired to fast. You actually do that Gentle Juicefasting or another kind of fasting, whatever you like. You can go to Tree Yoga Moon Fasting. That is a Facebook page of some friends and you can be there too. And there's a moon calendar for the best fasting days. There are, every week I post a new juice recipe there, and yeah, you find maybe something for you also. Okay, that's it for today. Maybe you want to subscribe and be vegan on YouTube. That's my YouTube channel. That's where I'm mainly active. MD Vegan on YouTube. You get another recipe every single day. And you can also find MD Vegan on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Hope to see you soon.